Catholic schools. So are you ready for some of the questions that I have for you today?
I am ready, Father.
I agree with everybody who promotes HBCU colleges and universities. So this question leads me to a very important one, Catholic HBCU.
Yes.
Why, I know that from the name it means Catholic and this, but what is special about Catholic HBCU?
So what's so significant about attending a Catholic HBCU is that I'm actually Catholic. So it's like taking all of the tools and all the skill sets and all the practices that have been instilled in me since I want to say the beginning of my time, but rightfully so, since baptism. And it allows me to put in play the catechisms of the Catholic Church in all of my classes. So not all of your professors at Xavier are going to be Catholic, but they are required to encourage students to practice their original faith. And so each classroom has a crucifix in it. Each classroom has a Bible. And with you attending Xavier University, you do have to take theology classes. It's a prerequisite for you to get your degree. So you have to understand their religion before you graduate.
So with the changing trend of things, becoming places and schools becoming more and more secular, do you think these Catholic HBCUs provide us adequate Christian Catholic environment?
Absolutely. That's really the mission and the whole bulk point, the bulk of what the school stands upon. It was started by Catherine Drexel, who was a Catholic nun, who believed in helping minority students get a equitable education. And so that's what the school stands on to this day. What many people don't know is that Xavier actually started off as a school of education. It was where teachers in the city of New Orleans would attend to become certified or trained teachers to go out and to teach minority students in the city of New Orleans. It then became a pharmacy school based off of popularity, et cetera, et cetera. So just with that even being said, like the foundation of the school started with St. Catherine Drexel, who was a Catholic who instilled that religion into her students and the teachers that she taught, and then sent them back out into the city, almost like an olive branch or like a domino effect to continue on what she believed.
But looking at Xavier, I think it's a long way coming from South Carolina, a long drive.
Yeah,
We from South Carolina, we usually stay where we can be a little bit closer to home. But what moved you to choose Xavier University, and what is your experience coming a long way from South Carolina, where we are minority Catholics? What did you see, and what is the story like?
So my main piece of influence came from my grandmother, who actually, she works for the Catholic Church. And so she's very big on the church and, evangelization and making sure people, consistently practice their faith and et cetera. And so she actually just brought it up to me. Like, have you ever heard of Xavier University? I'm like, no, because when I was in high school, I was going to be a Spelmanite. And there wasn't anything anyone could tell me that regarding that. I'm going to Spelman. Like, I don't even want to hear about any other school. Well, and then getting rejected from Spelman, so if Spelman's listening to this.
Yes, that's how God works.
However, she took me to a Likes conference that was actually in New Orleans and took me on a tour where I actually had the opportunity to tour with not just like the elders of the group, but actually like my colleagues, like people like my peers, like people who were my age, and we saw how like cool Xavier was, and like how like the students there had like such a swag and like a confidence about themselves. And like when I went there, I was like, no, like Spelman didn't work out for a reason. Like, this is where I'm going to go. Like this is what I'm going to put my name on. I'm going to be a Xavierite. So I ended up applying and actually got in, and I was really excited because it was also in the city of New Orleans. It was in a city I had never been to before. And I've always been like according to my family, I've never been afraid to leave home. Even going back to being a Girl Scout, they would send me to Girl Scout camp, and I would, go to Girl Scout camp for weeks on my own. And whenever it was time to come home, I was never ready really to come home. And so I've always been very adventurous when it came to that. But yes, the drive is long. It's 9 hours. How do I know? Because I took it. often to come back from South Carolina to Louisiana. But I wouldn't trade my experience with Xavier for the world. I would get back on that road 50 more times if need be, if I was still getting my degree from Xavier. I think it's so important for specifically graduating seniors in Greenville, South Carolina, who are Catholic or non-Catholic to attend Xavier University, because of not only the representation and the reputation. What am I trying to say?
Reputation.
Yes, reputation that Xavier has, but the quality education that you get, the number of opportunities that you kind of fall into just based off of association of being at the school or attending the school, and even the quality of faith that you get to grow with your peers, either Catholic or non-Catholic. It really is a journey. I often tell my mentees that college is like a boot camp for adulthood, right? And what better way is it to go through boot camp for adulthood than with your friends and actually have a spiritual journey during that boot camp and really like increase your faith throughout the process.